Let's have an old school match preview. Why not? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. Now, there's lots of rumours swirling around about potential transfers, potential budgets for this summer's transfer window, but nothing's concrete yet. We're waiting news or waiting confirmation of Joe Linton's new 4-year deal. Fingers crossed that's announced soon. And what a coup that would be, by the way. Fantastic work. Big news that would be. But we'll save that for another day until it's actual news and not just clickbait headlines at the moment. We're going to look ahead to Newcastle United versus Tottenham Hotspur, the early kickoff on Saturday. It's one of these games that we have very, very fond memories of, particularly last season, Jacob Murphy's little face in that amazing 6-1 win. What a day that was. Absolutely unforgettable. Things might be a little bit different this time. We don't really want to remember the reverse fixture earlier this season where Spurs beat us by 4-1. This fixture has always kind of guaranteed goals. And look, Spurs' away record has been a bit hit and miss of late. They've only won 2 away games in their past 9. Those wins did come at Aston Villa and at Nottingham Forest, but they've suffered losses at Fulham, at Brighton, and they've had a couple of disappointing draws, West Ham, Everton, and a couple of decent draws on the road as well against the 2 Manchester teams. Coming to St James's Park, though, their record is a bit haphazard. But look, Ange Postecoglu has done very, very well. They're sat in fourth with a game in hand over Aston Villa. Villa look now to be relying on the 5th place coefficient place. Part of you doesn't really want them to get it, but part of you does, I suppose, because then it filters down and the European places can go down to 8th place, of course, which would benefit us, as that's where we currently sit. However, only 2 points off 6th, which is incredible. Considering the amount of injuries we've had, the story of our season, it's absolutely incredible we are where we are. Other squads would not have been able to have coped so admirably with the injuries we've suffered. I see the absolute guff and nonsense in the week. Man United fans trying to justify that they've had the worst injuries of all time this season and whatnot. It's a different league. It's chalk and cheese. Our injuries are statistically the worst by a long way. On top of that as well, the Sandro Tonali furore. How we're still in with a squeak of European football with only 7 games to go is fantastic. And Eddie Howe, it's been an up and down season. 2 cup quarterfinals though. Hopefully we can start to string a little bit of results together because it has been a bit haphazard. We seem to get a good result here and then a stuttering one the following week. And then you get we need to get some consistency. We need to string some wins together. Obviously, we'd be 6th were it not for that late penalty for Everton against us the other week. Amazing comeback at home to West Ham. And a really important 1-0 away win at Fulham last time out, where, my word, the defence just needed a 1-0. And I think that would give them a lot of confidence going into this game. Dan Burn looked superb back at centre-half. Lewis Hall stringing together. He's got his big chance now between now and the end of the season to really cement his place before that deal gets made permanent. And he's looked good. Fabian Schär, of course, is Fabian Schär. Very unlucky not to get on the score sheet again last Saturday. For me, it was a goal, as you would have seen in the match reaction last week. We don't know yet whether Trippier's back for the game on Saturday. We'll find more tomorrow from Eddie Howe's press conference, but I'm kind of assuming that it's going to be Emil Kraft again. And when it comes to our team selection, for me, I think there needs to be one big change. And a few of you are going to be screaming at the telly or phone or whatever you're watching this on, saying, Sean Longstaff. But no, it's not Sean Longstaff. For me, it's Jacob Murphy. that needs to come out. And I want to see from the start this exciting front three of Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon, and Alexander Isak. Isak has scored in his last 5 home games. He's on an incredible run. Looked a bit tired against Fulham, but still did some nice bits. Obviously, he's had a week to recover and should come back refreshed at St James's, and should really, he put them to the sword last season, and I want to see more of the same. Murphy, for me, he's started the last few games. I don't think he's done very well in the main. He actually looked better at right back against West Ham than he did right mid. He's playing far too narrow for me. And when Spurs play with the width of Udogie and Pedro Porro, and then Timo Werner, who, is much maligned sometimes, and he's often made fun of and can't put the ball in the net, but he's still a handy player. He's quick, he's tricky, he can make stuff happen. So he shouldn't be ridiculed before the game, at least. Anyway, the concern I have is the way Spurs play, and it's happened a few times against us now. They play a 4-2-3-1, which I think is our kryptonite, in that every time a team plays 4-2-3-1 against us, we saw it on Boxing Day for Nottingham Forest. We saw it at the Tottenham Stadium in the reverse fixture earlier this season where they played 4-2-3-1. They get so much space in between our lines, and James Maddison's going to be key. He shouldn't be playing in the game. Whatever you think of how soft Ryan Yates was or whatever, but that incident, it was still violent conduct at the end of the day, and how VAR missed that, and obviously they can't take retrospective action because VAR's looked at it and took no further action. That's sort of the end of it. Whatever you think of how soft Ryan Yates was, as I say, whatever. At the end of the day, it's violent conduct, and violent conduct is a red card offence. So he should be suspended, but he's not. And he's going to play a key part in this game. Son Heung-min, I'll level with you, is my favourite player outside of Newcastle United. I think he's an absolute magician. And yeah, I've a lot of respect for Son Heung-min. I think he's an absolutely fantastic player. And he'll be leading their line on Saturday. I think Richarlison is still injured. The 2 midfielders that they have sat in front of their defence, and I'll speak about their centre-backs shortly, because one I really rate and one I really don't. Basouma's been the mainstay there, and whether they'll play Sarr or whether they'll play Bentancur remains to be seen, but it's going to be a challenge for our midfield and indeed our defence, because we don't want them to get the space in between the lines so they can make stuff happen. We need to be compact, and Bruno's going to have to be incredibly disciplined. Of course, it's his last game of his impending suspension, or the impending threat of suspension. If he gets away without a card on Saturday, then that's it. There's no fear of any more suspensions for him this season, barring a red card, of course. Interesting fact, if he gets a yellow card on Saturday, he will get a 2-match ban. If he gets 2 yellows and a red card, he will only get a 1-match ban. So, get on the old red card if he gets a yellow in play. That's all I'll say. But Spurs centre-backs, as I say, I want to see Barnes, Isaac and Gordon up front. I really do. Van der Ven is the one I rate. I think statistically now he is the fastest player in the Premier League, which for a centre-half is absolutely ridiculous. He's going to be tough. Alex Isak's going to have his hands full there. Romero is the one I don't rate. I think he's so poor. I think he's so overrated, it's unreal. But Van der Ven looks a real find for Spurs, and he's having a fantastic debut season in the Premier League. Absolutely superb. So Isak's got his hands full, as will Anthony Gordon, because he's our main threat of pace, of course. Gordon, so great to see him back on Saturday against Fulham. And he was our big threat, really. He was the only one that was taking a chance, making their goalkeeper work. And he's massive for us. He's been our player of the season. Deserved the England call. What more can I say? I hope he goes to the Euros in the summer, because he absolutely deserves it. He's been fantastic all season. But yeah, get your predictions in. Get your thoughts in on how the game will go. Prediction-wise, the fact that they play 4-2-3-1 and our record against teams that play that this season is so poor, it does have me worried. I'm not going to lie. They've got a good team on paper. Our record in early kickoffs on Saturday isn't good, but hopefully we've put pay to that now after that comeback against West Ham United. I don't know. I think maybe a score draw could be on the cards, and I really want to say home win. I really, really want to say home win. I'm desperate for this to be a home win because that really puts us in touch. Not only in the battle for 6th, 7th or whatever, but it might just make Villa and Tottenham just think a little bit, because our running is rather favourable. So if we can get them string of results together and find a bit of consistency, you never, ever know in the Premier League. Just another week of Barclays. Yeah, look, get your predictions in, get your predicted lineups in, and let me know what you think about the game. What are you worried? Are you confident? I hope you are confident. And I'd love to be much more confident than I am. But there's just that nagging feeling in the back of my head that, I always look at systems. People of the channel before I have watched me on an FTV for years will know that I'm intrigued by tactical systems and how much they impact a game and the fact that they got so much joy, A, down our wings, and B, in between the lines of the midfield last time out. It does bother me. So I hope that's something Eddie Howe's addressed this week. I'm sure he has. He knows by far more than a fat man sat at home. But give this video a thumbs up. That I'd be most appreciative. And of course, we'll have all the usual match reaction on Saturday from all the lads up in the northeast as well. So plenty to look forward to this weekend. Of course, the women as well can seal the title and back-to-back promotions on Sunday with a win. We'll be there as well at Kingston Park on Sunday, set to be an all-time record crowd there for the Newcastle United women. So good luck to them too. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching and stay tuned to Newcastle Fans TV.